Welcome, everyone, to our International Teaching and Global Leadership Class Preview webinar. Today, we are featuring a snippet of our Global Leadership class. We are very excited to have some students from ITGL here with us, as well as our esteemed faculty member who will be teaching our class. So I hope that you enjoy this preview. And this is going to be a very interactive webinar and class. So we want to encourage you as we are moving through the class to use the chat feature to participate and engage with us. And then at the end, if you have any questions about the program, the admissions requirements, or anything like that, you can put those in the Q&A function, and we will certainly get to those questions as well. But we want to make sure that you are interacting and really getting a true taste of what it is like to be in a global leadership class. My name is Serena. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here in the School of Education, and it is my pleasure to work with the ITGL program and all of our students who are looking to start in this program this fall. You can So welcome to ITGL Preview Class Week. Today is webinar 1. This is our very first class in the series. There will be 3 different classes that you can participate in and join this week. They're all at the same time, 9 a.m. local time here in Baltimore, Maryland. I know it's many different times across the world, but we are very excited for this. So if you want to join us for multiple days this week, we encourage you to do so. So today is our very first class, and then tomorrow we have our advanced instructional strategies with Dr. Trexler, and then on Thursday we have our global education policy and analysis with Dr. Adams. So I am really excited to be a part of all of these classes, and I hope that you'll join us for some additional days as well as today. So before we get into our class and I turn it over to our ITGL family who's here today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the program features. So the ITGL program is really designed to prepare future global innovative education leaders in business, technology, schools, policy, communities, and governments. We have students in ITGL who go on to a vast array of careers in different industries, but all impacting education globally. Some of them go into nonprofits, some of them start their own business ventures, some of them go on to doctoral studies. So many of our students graduate from ITGL and go to many different places to make an impact all across the globe. This program is an intensive educational experience providing candidates with the opportunity to develop knowledge in the most important aspects of education, to really have an informed global perspective of educational trends and research. Our faculty spend a lot of time doing, global research, and they're bringing that expertise to you. Students get targeted expert knowledge in their selected focus areas. We have many focus areas for you to choose in your application. We won't go through all of them today, but once you have the core classes of ITGL, you also get selected focus classes in your focus area. You get a unique applied experience through extended learning in your final semester. And then you have a professional portfolio. So this program is not just instructional based, it's very hands-on, so that you have that extended learning experience and get a professional portfolio as well. So this kind of breaks it down into just visual chunks for you. So there's the core ITGL courses. All of the courses in our class previews this week are part of the core ITGL courses. Then there are some courses that are a little bit more specific to your chosen focus area. And then your applied learning experience is your extended learning, and that is also related to your focus area. And then there is the final portfolio. And at this time, I'm going to let Veronica take over. She is going to introduce herself and get us started with our class. Take it away. Great. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Good evening, depending upon where you are. My name is Veronique Gugliucciello. I am the senior lecturer here in the School of Education. I am also the advisor of our creative and innovative focus area, and I am also the advisor for our International Student Association. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email is listed on the screen. So I want to welcome all of you to the Global Leadership Class preview. So you will see throughout the morning here in Baltimore that this is a class that I am extremely excited about. My background and experience is in global leadership. So I'm so glad that you have joined us today. And I really would like to share that I have a few of my current global leadership students who are joining me today, and they're going to be participating in our discussion. So I thank them for getting up early here in Baltimore and for being here with me. Before we get started, I would love for everybody to just please enter their name in the chat and where you're joining us from. I want to make this highly interactive, so it would be great to know names, and it would actually be great to know where people are joining us from. And what my current students are going to do is they are going to actually put their name, and they're going to put their focus area as well. So while you all are doing that, I'm going to talk with you a little bit about what my goal is today. I really want to stimulate or to simulate exactly how I teach my sections of global leadership. So every spring, our students take their global leadership class. And I want to make sure that you get a sense and a feel of what it's actually going to be like. And so my students know me by now, and they know that each week I always have an opening slide, and my opening slide has a quote that grounds what we're going to learn for that class session. So I want you, before you enter your name and your location, which would be great, into the chat. If you're not able to enter it into the chat, there is a Q&A, and you can enter it into the Q&A as well. But it'd be great to just kind of see who is joining us today. Good. We have somebody from DC. That's super. So not very far away from us. So great. Super, super. It's great to see where people are coming in from. So thank you to my current students, letting you know who they are and letting you know what their focus area is. Great. As those are coming in, I want you to take a second, and I'd love for you to read the quote on the screen from Ronald Reagan, who is a former past president here in the United States. And I'm curious if you could just let me know what you think Ronald Reagan is meaning by this quote that's on the screen.
I think he's saying a great leader doesn't have to be necessarily physically leading or doing all the work by himself, but rather to guide people, to facilitate people, and to make things happen.
Chen, that's excellent, because what have we been learning about this semester in global leadership? Is the leader the one who's supposed to be doing everything? I see Benji shaking her head.
Really,
Peter, go ahead.
yeah, I agree with what Chen said. I believe my thought about this is about the greatest leader is going to be have the power to engage and motivate the members in the team to go to the big idea from the leader.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Peter. You shared two great things, engage and motivate. And that's really when we think about great leaders, Ronald Reagan's trying to tell us it's not the person who does the greatest things, but it's actually the ones who get the people to do the greatest things. And you will learn throughout this course, many people come into this course and they really think that they know what leadership is, and they have an idea, and they're like, I know what leadership is. I don't need this class. And then they really get into this course, and we really focus on kind of what it truly means for you personally to be a leader. So I want to take you in and just show you my agenda for today. And again, each week after my opening slide, there's always an agenda. I like to make sure that you know what we're going to be doing. And global leadership is a very interactive class. It's very discussion based. We do some small group breakouts, we do whole group discussions.
And my goal as an instructor for this class is really to make sure that students feel comfortable taking part in a way that works for them. And each of my students who have joined me today can speak to that. You know, sometimes at the beginning, people are not comfortable like speaking out. So we actually have activities on the board where you can actually, you know, participate that way. You can write your answers on the board. You can take an active role in your small group. So there's always a way for you to be comfortable and involved. So I'm going to start off today by telling you a little bit about who I am. Then we're going to talk a little bit about a course overview. Then I'm going to give you a little snippet into what global leadership really is. And we're going to do a little preview from the class. And then I'll go over any closure or kind of questions that you may have. So who am I? So this is me. I am Veronica Gugliucciello. I go by Miss Gugliucciello, or most of my students just call me Miss G because Gugliucciello seems to be a lot. So I am a very proud senior lecturer in the School of Education, where I primarily teach in the ITGL program. I joined the faculty of the School of Education back in 2008, so I've been here for a little bit of time. I am, as I shared before, the faculty advisor for the Creative and Innovative Focus Area, and also the advisor for our very own International Student Association. It is a group at the School of Education that's open to all School of Education students. But there's a little bit more about me. I'm also a proud member of the team that created the ITGL program. So up on the screen, you'll see a picture of our first cohort, cohort 19, where we only had 15 students. I am also the recipient of the JHU Alumni Association Excellence in Teaching Award. So in the middle, that's a picture of me and Dean Morphew this past May at graduation, where I received that award. And the number one thing that makes up who I am a teacher, I'm an advisor, I'm a mentor, and I'm a supporter of all ITGL students. So this is a picture of me and some of my students at graduation. And I love graduation. I always talk about it, and it's the best day of the year because for me, it's that opportunity where I really get to see my students walk across that stage and see all that they have accomplished. So that is a little bit about me, and thank you for those of you who shared who you are, where you're from. I'm super excited to have you here today. I hope that you enjoy our preview of the Global Leadership class. So I just wanted to ground us and put up our course description, and I'm going to just give you a minute to just read it. So as I shared before, during our spring semester, each student in ITGL will take a global leadership course. And during global leadership, we really embark on a leadership journey together. And I want to stress that because we embark on this journey and we go on it together, teachers and students. And as I shared before, a lot of students come in and they think they know what leadership is. And I asked them the question, okay, that's great. You know what leadership is, but do you truly know who you are as a leader? And we spend a lot of time in this course not only learning about leadership, but also learning about who you are as a leader and who you will be as a leader, because that's what's extremely important to us here in ITGL. We are preparing you to be international teaching and global leaders. And it's really important for you to take a step back and understand what leadership is, but also understand who you are as a leader. Because as my current students will tell you, leadership really is about who you are. And think back to what Ronald Reagan said. You know, it's not about him doing the greatest things, but it's about getting others to do those great things. So we take a journey, and I use the journey metaphor all the time. We take a journey of learning about global leadership, and we follow a really specific framework where you'll have an opportunity to discover a complete portrait of the leadership experience, and that experience as it has evolved to the present day and how it emphasizes the new paradigm, the skills and qualities that are relevant for today and into the future. So the course, Global Leadership, takes a really systematic research, evidence-based approach to real-world experiences and impact. And We start our journey with week 1, where we just do an introduction to leadership. What is the importance of leadership? What are the, transitions that have happened in the fields of leadership? And truly, what does it mean to be a leader? And we're going to touch on that a little bit today, to just give you a taste of that. After we focus on kind of introducing leadership, we move on to really explore research perspectives on leadership. And these research perspectives really have evolved during the times where leadership was stable to where leadership was unstable. And we'll look at rational management approaches, and we look at the research perspectives around traits, behaviors, and relationships, because research really shows that those traits, behaviors, and relationships are what are really important in leadership and for future leaders. After that, we spend a bulk of our course in that middle section there, where we talk about the personal side of leadership. This is an opportunity for you to really figure out who you are as a leader. You need to understand who you are as an individual, because who you are is going to affect how you are as a leader. We spend time talking about leadership, mind, and emotion, or as my students know, I say leading with head versus leading with heart, because that's tough for new leaders. They have a really hard time figuring out, how to lead with both head and how to lead with heart. Then we finish up the personal side of leadership by talking about courage and moral leadership, and what it takes as a leader to truly have courage and to be moral. And once we finish the personal side of leadership, we can then move on, where you can start thinking about yourself as a leader, as a relationship builder, because when we are working with people, there is a relationship side to that. And we talk about motivation and empowerment. What is a leader's job in motivating and empowering their followers? We talk about leadership communication, which is our topic for this week, which I'm super excited about. Leading teams. People are like, oh yeah, I know how to lead a team. Well, do you really know how to lead a team? Have you gone through the stages of teaming with any team that you've been a part of prior to this program? We'll talk about how to, how to develop leadership diversity, how to develop power and influence. And then we end our course with the leader as a social architect, because again, once you understand leadership, you know the research behind it, you've looked at yourself, you know how to relationship build. It's then time for us to teach you actually how to go off and how to be a social architect, and how do you create vision and strategic direction. So again, for me, this is one of my favorite courses to teach, and it is just an exciting journey that we go on. And the final project that students put together is they actually put their own leadership journey together and their own profile, and they present it the last 2 sessions of the course. And it's always such a wonderful experience for me as the teacher to actually sit back and watch my students and see all that they have learned through the journey that we have taken in leadership. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to share one of my favorite videos that I have my students look at the first week of class. And this video, I'm just going to kind of clip it, so you're only going to see a segment of it. But this is Dr. Gary Bertolini. He is the dean of the Purdue Polytechnic Institute. He is a distinguished professor of computer graphics and technology and computer and information technology at Purdue. He did accept a new role as the president for Purdue Online Learning and Innovation. And in this talk, he's going to identify 5 attributes of authentic leadership. And what I want you to do as you're listening to the video, I want you to jot down those 5 attributes as he talks about them. So just give me 1 second and I'm going to get us set up with our video.
If you do not have a strong vision, nothing else matters. And it always starts with a why. And so if you think about great leaders, Abraham Lincoln, saving the Union, ending slavery. Very simple, right? Very simple and powerful message. Vince Lombardi, win NFL championships. Winning isn't the only everything, it's the only thing, is a quote that he's had. Martin Luther King, It was about turning the society upside down and ending segregation. Very simple message. What's great about Martin Luther King, and it describes every great leader, is he said that he had a vision, right? That what he wanted to do was change the nation. I have a dream. He didn't say I have a plan, a 12-point plan, right? I have a dream. And he brought people towards that dream. And you can see that over and over again with great leaders, a very simple, powerful message. And it's because it's their vision. They will walk through walls in order to get what they need to do to implement that vision. And so it always starts with a vision. Find something you're passionate about, and that's the way to go. The next one is you have to be optimistic. You have to believe that things will get better no matter how bad they are. Winston Churchill, in the depths of World War II, rallied his nation and was able to save Great Britain. What's interesting is after World War II, he was kicked out of office because his vision didn't align to the post-war Great Britain. So again, the vision wasn't aligned at that point because it was over. The war was done. But you have to fundamentally be optimistic. Churchill, by the way, had fits of depression, but it never got in his way of his optimism toward his vision of saving Great Britain. So you have to be optimistic that things will always be better, and you have to portray that to everyone around you. In other words, the message is always good, even if it's not. This next one is very, very dangerous. But great leaders have to have a big ego. They have to believe that what they believe is right. The problem is some people become egomaniacs because it becomes about themselves and not about the organization that they're trying to change. And that's where the great leaders can start to fail. They can actually start off with a great vision. They can have optimism, but their ego gets in their way. Power corrupts, but they somehow are able to channel their ego into good. This next one I already mentioned a little bit, and that's charisma. Somehow you have to be able to connect with the people that you're involved in, okay? Believe it or not, I'm a very quiet, shy person, okay? But you put me in front of a group like this, or I can talk about something I'm passionate, I can become a little bit more charismatic. George Clooney-like, okay? I've been told I look like him, but I know those in the back can't quite tell. But you have to have charisma, and you have to use it to sell your ideas. This next one is passion. You can probably tell I'm a little bit passionate. I've been called a preacher at times. You have to show great passion in what you do. And passion is what drives you when things don't go well. It keeps you going internally. And that passion then is brought out to everyone that you're trying to lead, and they just pick up on it. And they will go places that they would never go until that leader stepped into place. And so passion, again, is very, very important. And then finally, you have trust. But the trust is so deep and so great that it turns to faith. That's where you will allow a leader to take you places that you would never have even dreamt about trying before.
To be free and flexible and creative was really...
All right, thank you for taking the time to listen to Dr. Bertolini share his 5 attributes What I'd like you to do now is I want you to actually think about the best leader you have actually known. Who's the best leader you've known? It can be somebody close to you. It can be somebody who is a figure, out in the world. But I want you to think about that best leader. And I want you to think about which of the 5 attributes of authentic leadership that Dr. Bertolini just went over does this leadership demonstrate? Do they have vision? Do they have ego? Do they have charisma? Do they have passion? Do they have trust? And then I'm going to ask people to actually share that leader and tell me which of the 5 attributes they show. So if you are a participant and you are joining us, please feel free to either put it in the chat or put it in the Q&A, and we will look at them. For my current students, if you are somebody who feels brave enough to unmute and you want to share your leader and the attribute, we would love that. So I'll give you about a minute or two to just kind of think and to get your thoughts together. And I'm going to monitor chat and Q&A, and current students, feel free if you want to unmute yourself and share when you're ready.
I guess I can go first.
Perfect. Thanks, Benji.
So the best leader I admire is Lei Jun from Xiaomi. As we all know, Chinese EV market has already super competitive with like BYD stuff. But he is still there to launch Xiaomi's car, and people thought that was crazy, right? But he combined Xiaomi's technology advance with cars and focusing on smart features and also affordability. And now, as we can all know, Xiaomi Ultra is a great sale and reviews. It shows, I believe it shows his vision as is said in the video and also on the screen. He has the vision, he had courage to take risks, and I think that's a real leadership.
Benji, you talk about, which is perfect, you talk about that vision, and I can see it in you as you are talking. That vision has turned into what? What is the last thing Dr. Bertolini said that you need to have in a leader?
Trust?
Yes, right. Because you can see as you're talking that not only he has gotten you onto the vision of what it is he wants to do with his company and where he wants to take it, in order for you to trust him enough to be part of kind of that vision and want to be part of what it is and the products that he's putting out. So excellent job. Somebody else want to share one of their best leaders they've known and one of the 5 attributes that Dr. Bertolini went over that this leader demonstrates?
Miss G, I want to share one of my favorite leader.
Perfect. Thank you, Zhenxin.
I just want to share Lin Lianyu, which is the Chinese language, one of the Chinese language teacher. That will be the best leader. From one point of view, that will be the best leader that I ever seen before, because he was the Chinese language leader or Chinese language father in Malaysia. From our point of view, he got a very big vision to promote Chinese language education in Chinese ethnic group in Malaysia. So he really has this kind of vision. And apart from that, he has this kind of passion and to unite people to follow him, follow his steps, and to promote this kind of agenda, and to boost this kind of ethnic identity, and also this kind of spirit in Chinese ethnic group in Malaysia. So my point of view, he is kind of successful leader from my point of view. So I believe that he is one of my favorite leaders.
Genshin, I love how you just unmuted and I love how you just owned exactly that leader. And just for in full transparency for everyone who's here, Genshin actually wrote about that leader as part of his influential leader. He had to tape a video about that leader. And Genshin, I love that you picked up on and you talk about his vision. You know, you talk about how he had to have that passion to really make sure that, you know, he was like forming the right kind of group. I mean, he was taking language and he is spreading language. So I can feel his passion in you as you speak about the work that he did. So excellent job. Thank you both Benji and Genshin for kind of sharing those best leaders. And we're going to have some opportunities to further share. So I want to kind of move us forward because really, before we can examine what makes an effective leader, we need to know really what leadership means. And if you were to Google leadership, you know, you're going to find a lot of definitions of leadership because scholars and other writers have offered hundreds of definitions of the term leadership. And so it prompted James McGregor Burns, one researcher, to conclude that leadership is one of the most observed and least understood phenomenon on Earth. And really think about that for a minute. That leadership is one of the most observed and least understood phenomenon on Earth. So defining leadership has become so complex, and it's actually been an elusive problem. And largely the reason why it's a problem is because the nature of leadership itself is complex. When you just think about the nature of leadership, it is extremely complex. I'd like you to take a minute and I want you to read the definition of leadership that's provided on the screen, because this is the definition of leadership that we actually used in our class. And just out of curiosity, I'd love for people in the chat to please put any words in that definition that stand out to them. What are some words that stand out to you in that definition? And I'm going to monitor the Q&A and I'm going to monitor the chat. Just put a word or two words that stand out to you in that definition. Ooh, one of our attendees said followers. Yes, thank you for bringing up followers. That's such an important part of the definition of leadership. I see my current students, somebody said shared purposes, which is important. Oh, thank you. Kanika said real changes. Good. That's important to note those kind of words of real changes. Perfect. I also see that somebody put the word among, which is also something that's really, really important. Thank you everyone for using the Q&A. Thank you for using the chat. So these are the key elements in the definition of leadership on the previous slide, and you actually picked them out. Followers was one, shared purpose, the notion of change. So these are those key kind of points that you need to think about. You know, we have a leader, and a leader needs to have influence. They need to have intention. A leader needs to take personal responsibility and have integrity. A leader needs to be able to change with the times. They need to make sure that they have a shared purpose. That's important for leaders to have. And followers, as one of our participants shared in the Q&A, followers is something that is important for leaders. You know, when we think about leadership, it really involves the notion of influence. It occurs among people. There are changes that leaders want to make happen. And we think that, you know, leading and following, they're activities that really require other people. So you need to make sure that you have those kind of, you have those followers. And when we think about leadership, it's shared among leaders and followers. We want to make sure that everyone is fully engaged, that everyone accepts responsibility, everyone has that higher level responsibility. So when you think about what leadership involves and you look at those circles kind of on the screen, I'm kind of curious these two questions. I'd love for you in the chat or in the Q&A, I'd love for you to put which of the elements in the definition of leadership is the easiest for you, and which of the elements in the definition is hardest for you. So when you look at those outer circles and you say, oh, that one's easy for me, or that one is a little bit difficult for me, go ahead and do me a favor and put that either in the Q&A or the chat. So Chin, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm only going to put you on the spot just because we have built a really nice relationship, you and I, so I know that I can call on you like this. You were one of the first people to put your responses in. Would you mind sharing with people the element that's easiest for you, and just tell us a little bit why that element is easy for you, and then also the one that you said was hardest, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. For me, the reason why I chose personal responsibility and integrity as my easiest element is because I know myself. I think I'm a good leader and manager of myself. So I know what I should do, or when I should do certain things. I'm really good at managing my own emotions and my own actions, and I always own my actions after I do something. So that's for sure the easiest one for me. I take
I'm gonna
responsibility myself. Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to interrupt for 1 second. I don't know if you can see everybody, but as you were just sharing that personal responsibility and integrity were easiest for you, everyone on here was shaking their head. And the reason why I want to point that out is I shared that this is a leadership journey and your classmates are part of your journey. So Chan, totally all of us agree, having gotten to know you so far this semester, we all agree that personal responsibility and integrity are truly things that you emulate in the classroom as a student. So we have no doubt that as a leader, you're going to emulate those same things. I apologize for cutting you off. Go ahead and share which one you said was the hardest for you.
Thank you. So change is the most challenging one for me because I personally think I'm a little hesitant to changes in both in my life or in working environment or academic settings. Yeah, I think that's a common one for most people because people like to be in a stable environment and being familiar with everything around you. So yeah, that's the one I need to be working on in the future.
Perfect. Chin, thank you so much. Peter, I saw you shaking your head along. I'm going to put you on the spot. And again, because we've just built a good relationship this semester, can you share the ones that you put in the chat that are easiest for you and the hardest for you?
Yeah, definitely. So from my perspective, the hardest would be the shared purpose. Like in a team, even the whole team have the big idea, like the big purpose to motivate. But sometimes as a leader, I believe the most afraid thing is the member has their own small purpose, which will cause the conflicts, sometimes will cause the uh, misunderstanding sometimes. So like for my personal experiments, like as a leader in the team, I be, before we set up, the one things I need to make sure is we all have the same purpose, which is the same goal to achieve in the final. And I would definitely agree with the Chen said about the hardest change because people is hard to change. They like even me, we want to stay in our comfort zone. We don't want to step out. Yeah.
And Peter, I'm giggling with you because you all have gotten to know me as your instructor and also as a person. And there is a personal side of leadership. And you all know that change is something that Miss G does not do very well with. So I am in agreement. And I want to thank one of our participants. As my students know, I'll do this in class. One of our participants is on fire. Okay, I'm giving her the sizzle because she shared that the easiest is intention and personal responsibility along with integrity because this individual feels that's more under their control, where the hardest one is followers and change. So very much like my current students have shared, because that's something that's not under my control. And thank you for bringing those words in, because you are completely right. In leadership, there are things that are under our control versus things that are not under our control. And we have to make sure that we are aware of that. And we have to, as leaders, know how we're going to deal with the things that are under our control versus not under our control. And that's where some of your influence might come into play. We're going to learn about communication this week in class. So the way we communicate with people will absolutely help us. So, and again, we have another participant who said, influence is the easiest element, and perfect reason for saying my decisions have impacted others, whether positively or negatively. And that's true. As leaders, sometimes we are going to make decisions that are going to have a positive impact or may have a negative impact. And we'll learn during this class that sometimes we have to make those hard decisions and not everything is going to have that positive impact. I also appreciate you saying that the most difficult element is shared purpose, because you're right. When people from different backgrounds come together, they do have different opinions on the same matter. It's kind of like Peter was just talking about, in our program, there's a lot of group work element, and you do have people from different backgrounds coming together, and you don't always have the same opinion on the same matter. So I appreciate you saying that you as a leader realize how important it is to provide direction and that ensure that it's shared among everyone. That is excellent. That is definitely something that we talk about, not just in this class, but also in this program. So thank you all very much. In the interest of time, I just want to make sure I'm moving us forward. And, I want you to understand that anyone can be a leader, okay? To become a leader, you have to look for opportunities around you. So I really want you to think about the leadership opportunities you've encountered recently. People think that leadership opportunities have to be these big, grand gestures, but absolutely they're not. The 4 students that are joining me today, this is a leadership opportunity that they were presented with, and they stepped up and they said, yes, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock Baltimore time, and I'm going to unmute and I'm going to talk. Even myself, people don't know this about me, and my students have a very hard time when I tell them this. I am a complete introvert. I am not an extrovert. So this is a leadership opportunity that I have encountered. The director, Dr. Adams, said, hey, Miss G, you want to do a preview lesson? And really deep down, I'm like, no, I'm completely an introvert. This is really tough for me, but I stepped up. This is a leadership opportunity. And I want you to understand that there are leadership opportunities all around us. Maybe it's actually just holding the door for somebody who needs assistance, or maybe it is saying, hey, yes, I'm going to take on this group leadership role. But there's leadership in everything that we do. And, there is an art and a science to leadership. And there's an age-old question: are leaders born or are they made? And I will tell you that leadership can be learned, but it's important to also remember that leadership is an art and a science. When we think about it as an art, it's because many leadership skills and qualities, they can't be learned from a textbook. They actually take practice, they take hands-on experience, as well as intense personal exploration and development. But it's also a science leadership because there is a growing body of knowledge and objective facts that describe the leadership process and how to use leadership skills to attain organizational goals. When we think about the science of good leadership, that can be learned from a textbook. And if you come here to Hopkins, we have one of the best textbooks that we use for this course. And we actually practice the art and the science of leadership. because that art of leadership really requires experience. And there are things that you can do to learn to be a good leader. And there are skills that you can practice. And one of the biggest things that I say to my students is practice acts of leadership in your everyday life. They don't have to be big, grand gestures, but just saying, yes, I'll do that, or I'll organize this. That's leadership. Emulate successful leaders. I do a lot of reading around successful leaders. I share the books that I'm reading with my students. The Ride of a Lifetime by Bob Iger. Any of you who are Disney fans, excellent read to truly emulate a successful leader. Find a mentor to provide feedback. I have my own personal mentor who's actually my advisor from my master's program. And Dr. Green does a great job of providing feedback to me around, my leadership and how I'm doing. Complete a leadership course to improve your skills. So my current students are in my class, and those of you who are here previewing, I hope I get the opportunity to have you in class so you can actually learn about leadership from me. And there's so many different ways you can work to develop your personal traits of empathy and patience. So I just want to thank you all for being part of this preview. I, again, wanted to emulate what my class is like, and I always end class with a closure and question slide so that students are aware of when we meet next, what they can expect from that next class and what they need to prepare for. And then I always end class with just, what are your questions? What questions can I answer for you? So I'm going to take a pause for a second before I turn it back over to Serena. And I'm curious if any of our attendees have any questions around leadership or any questions around this course that I can answer before Serena goes over some just basic admissions stuff. Also, any of my students who are here, if there's any questions you may have that you want to unmute and ask, please feel free. And again, this was just a snippet. This was really difficult to do in such a condensed time. My students know how kind of fast-paced class is. It's a 2.5-hour kind of class, and we're constantly, answering questions, having discussions, doing certain kind of things that, are related to leadership, doing some insights, taking some surveys, asking some questions and discussing case studies with our classmates. So I'm going to go ahead, Serena, and I'm going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. What a great class preview. I know I enjoyed the little bit of discussion that we had and insights. So thank you all who participated and were engaged with us. So just to switch gears here, we're going to talk about how do you become a part of the ITGL program? So we are currently still accepting admissions applications. In order to apply, you need to submit the online application. You can find that on our website. There's an $80 application fee. You'll need to upload your resume with all of your work experience, academic experience, any research experience that you might have. Definitely include that on your resume. There's an essay that is also required. There's our essay prompts that you'll answer as a part of the application. You'll need 2 letters of recommendation and then official transcripts. Now, if you have studied inside of the United States and went to an institution or a university here in the US, you can send those official transcripts directly to us. If you have studied anywhere internationally, you'll need to submit a course-by-course evaluation of those transcripts to us. So you'll submit the transcript to the agency, and we have specific agencies on our website that we work with that are approved. And they'll provide to us that course-by-course evaluation. If you go to the website, it's education.jhu.edu/international. For all of the international student requirements, it'll go through all of the course-by-course evaluation companies that we use or that are approved. And then a video screening may be required. So it is not required for every single applicant, but after you submit your application and it's completed, an admissions representative, myself, may reach out to you to reach out to ACEE Global to administer a screening as a part of your application. And then just to go over the timeline, what is time you have to submit your application and just some key points and dates from here until our deadline. So you can apply now. Like I said, the online application is available. We are continuing to accept applications for fall of 2025. That application deadline is April 15th. And that deadline is the end of our process. So all of your materials are due to us by that application deadline. And then after students receive an offer of admission, which I know many of you who are with us today have an offer of admission already to ITGL, you have until May 7th to accept that offer of admission and then pay the non-refundable enrollment deposit. So that would be our final deadline for admission. And I just want to thank you all so much for being a part of our class preview today. My information is here on the screen. Like I said, my name is Serena Stewart. If you have any questions about admissions, I would invite you to send me an email, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the application process. And then we also have Miss Betsy Mayote's information here. She would be the person you would want to contact if you have any specific questions about the program or you want to get in contact with anyone on the ITGL program side of things. She would be your go-to person for that. So thank you all. I see some amazing comments here in the chat. It looks like everyone enjoyed their class preview. We do have 5 more minutes left. If anyone had a quick question, you can definitely put that in the Q&A. We'll kind of stay here for just a couple more minutes if anyone did have a lingering question for me or for Ms. Gugliucciello or any of our students. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so if you want to email me your questions, if you have any, that is great as well. Thank you all so much for your time and your engagement here this morning. Thank you to our ITGL current students, and thank you, Veronica, as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, we do have someone who has some questions. So we'll answer this before we go.
Absolutely. I'm gonna, if it's okay with the student, I'm gonna just kind of like speak out loud. Yeah, perfect. So you have a background in architect. Do I think you'd be a good fit for this program? You know, we get a lot of students who come to us from various different backgrounds. So I always say, as long as you have a passion for international teaching and global leadership, yes, this program is actually an excellent fit for you. You will really get that solid foundation through your core courses and through your focus area courses. Great question about class size. So we tend to keep our class size around 20. Our seminar is a little bit bigger than that just because it's a 1-credit seminar, but we really strive to keep class sizes definitely less than 25. More the norm is around 20. Some of your classes could be 18. And absolutely, it's possible to visit campus and attend an in-person sample / ongoing class and meet someone from the program. That's an excellent kind of question, and we'd love to set that up. We have done that in the past. I do believe when you shared, you're from DC, so you're not far from us at all. So absolutely, I would say getting in touch with Miss Mayat, whose email address is on the screen. She is somebody who can help set up one of those campus visits. Serena, I'm looking at you, and I apologize. You can either get in touch with Miss Matt or Serena. Either one can actually help you with the visit. We can schedule it on a day where you can absolutely attend an in-person class to see what class is like and meet somebody from the program. We'd be more than happy to set that up for you. That's excellent. Great question. And I think Miss Matt's actually typing her information to you so that you have that. So that's super. And I just want to thank the current students. I also want to thank the participants for just being so active. Again, I am an introvert, so I appreciate you kind of taking part in this with us and being able to actually put your answers in there. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will consider joining us. And I just want to thank my current students so much for all of your help and support today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.